Aujourd'hui, je vais parler a very specific problem for when you're already retired, which is how do you feel about income that's entirely passive and does it not feel quite right? Ooh, tricky topic. Hey, Zempak here. So I saw this question on a Fire Reddit post, and it really kind of just bothered me. So I'll link that original thread below and summarize as well. Okay. It basically outlines, hey, does anybody else feel that passive income isn't quite real, that somehow working for pay with that regular W-2 feels more solid and maybe perhaps even better? Like, oh, like that's real good, like the correct way to get paid. Now, I feel like there's a lot to unpack here. I have to say, I mean, like the OP, I've also been fired for quite a number of years at this point, and in a way, I do understand why he's feeling this way, right? And yet, at the same time, I have to totally disagree with his whole concept that somehow active income feels better or more solid. It is a problem that I had in the beginning of my post-working life, but I feel like I got over it within a year or two, really. So, right, today I want to share some wisdom on this front. I mean, for those of us post-fire, or even those of us who'd like to imagine what that life is like without the need of actual work. Uh, After all, I mean, how many people are actually in my situation, right? It's got to have some unforeseen issues. This would be a prime example. So the idea that you make money, how you make money after a corporate job, right? So this is a big one. If only because it's hard to empathize with this particular issue. But here I am, okay? So if you're intrigued by what I might say, please subscribe, like, comment, share, all that social media buzzwords, or do whatever you want, because I'm rich enough for me. I'll be great regardless. Okay, so the first problem really is, I think I want to mention, is that we have to get over this concept that one has to suffer to make money. For that is what work explicitly, or active working for pay, that is what it is, right? Remember, how many people actually love their jobs? Okay, I think 5%. If you want to be generous, people call it maybe 20% of people, right, love their jobs. No, but I'm not talking about how many people can simply tolerate their jobs, but actually loves it, right? I do think most people, because human beings are so adaptable, most people can't tolerate their jobs. I know I did. I could have kept doing that old corporate job for like ever, okay? So again, I think the majority of people, they can tolerate their jobs, but very, very few people actually love theirs, right? And my marker is always just ask yourself, if you're not sure whether you really love your job, uh, I mean, would you keep doing your same job function if they stopped paying you tomorrow? So by that criteria, yeah, I doubt most people will continue to work for free. So where does that leave us? Oh yeah, 80 to 95% of people work, aka suffer through their work. That is what we are used to. Sad but true. Tell me I'm wrong. Seriously, I'd love to hear a rebuttal that would, you know, disillusion me from this particular concept. That for most people, active work equals suffering, and that is what we know. So, what alternative am I putting out there, right? Like, I think most people think that work equals suffering. So, what should you do? Now, I think you should imagine you were just being paid for being awesome. Okay. If you should stop imagining that you can only get paid for suffering, for basically trading your life force away, then, you know, what is the purpose? You know, what is your purpose in life? Why can't it just be you being a unique individual, right? Whatever it is that you're spending time doing, now that you don't have to answer for someone else, right? Like for me, long-time viewers know that's pickleball, video games, learning a new language, and recently my wife's got me to do some yoga, okay? So, if you want to justify how you're getting paid these days passively, then imagine being paid as a professional pickleball player, or a gamer, or even yoga trainer, okay? Obviously, that's absurd, as I am just not qualified in any of those disciplines, except for maybe gaming. So, I wouldn't be able to get paid to do those functions, but there are people who do get paid for those functions. So why can't you imagine that, right? Why can't you simply be the kind of person who's paid for what most other people would consider fun? My point is, we devalue what makes any of us happy in life, okay? I don't know about you, but pushing paperwork or answering passive-aggressive emails is not my idea of fun, right? I don't think that's the case for most people. So basically what I'm saying is replace suffering equals value with happiness equals value. Can you actually do that? No, that's the real question. Now my final point is more general. Just understand that I think people who feel like active income feels more real. That's because the entire world wants you to feel guilty. They want you to do something boring. And it's not for your own good, bro. This is, there is a macroeconomic reasons, and it's persistent and prevalent because society wants worker bees. Not you, not you guys who's remotely interested in fire. You don't want to be a worker bee. But society wants the rest of us to be worker bees, right? I'm so happy that I live in the USA, the land of the free, where I can even say the point of view that I want, right? Certainly in reality, first world or developing world, it doesn't matter. None of them wants you to actually be free from the yoke of work, right? So many people buy into this idea that, work is the highest of virtues. What society is doing is just sucking your blood dry, and you applaud them for it. Okay, that's what society does. To be fair, I do think most people are strong enough to withstand this version, this blood-sucking version of life. Okay, just look around, right? No one's rebelling quite yet, okay? From the system of work from age 20 to 60 or 70, so that's 50 years of work, leading to a senior version of life where you finally can do some stuff when you're already decrepit and almost dead. That is what society wants for most of us, okay? Society, though, also, by the way, is super against change. It's certainly against change on how value is created, right? I'm not saying that it can't change, it certainly just won't do it fast enough for most of our lifetimes. So at the end of the day, I wanted you to ask yourself these questions, right? Do you believe in having fun, free time, and that life isn't just about working until you drop dead? If so, save, invest, get to fire. If not, hey, I appreciate you nonetheless because you're helping me maintain my fire lifestyle, because that's most people, not my audience, but people in general. Okay, those people will forever think working for money is somehow nobler than making money, because they are essentially communists and don't understand how capitalism works. Full stop. So please, if you can, stop valuing your work like that. Stop fretting about the billionaire class and instead copy what got those fat cats where they're at. Use your capital instead of your life force to live. Shake off the shackles of societal pressure. That's the only way to be, free. Okay? Cheers. A la prochaine.